Have you ever noticed that you're a little bit crooked? Has anybody ever told you that you're a little bit crooked? There's a lot of people that come into my clinic and I'm telling them maybe for the first time, have you ever noticed that one shoulder's a little bit higher than the other? Or that they're a little bit crooked or shifted. Sometimes people have back pain, some people have neck pain, shoulder pain, radiating pain through their arms or legs. And one of the key signs that I'm seeing is that their body is shifted. And so what we need to do is figure out, okay, what is creating that? Some people may think it's just a natural scoliosis, meaning a curvature of their spine. Some people may say it's something in their pelvis. I'd like to look at a little bit deeper. Okay, what is causing it? What could be creating these different shifts and rotations and tensions that making you kind of a little bit crooked so that your body needs to tense and protect you. And that's really what it is. Again, when it comes to how our body is posturing, it's usually trying to protect you or avoid a posture that it perceives as threatening. Now, so let's talk about some of the things that could create that. Some of the things are how your hip is placed. So if your hip is rotated in, so I'm going to kind of really go wonky here. So if your hip is rotated in, it's going to kind of create possibly a shift like so, which is going to translate all the way up to your neck. And so that's why when we look at people, we look from head to toe to see, okay, does their foot collapse, leading them to kind of go in with their hip, and that makes them kind of shifted and crooked, making one shoulder higher than the other. It could be that their shoulder blade is not as stable. So if they're ever on their hands and knees, if they're ever using their arms, what that does is that creates a posture that when they do that, they're kind of like this, which is going to affect how they twist their body and use their torso. And so when you're doing that all the time, if you're holding a child, if you are constantly doing things with your arms, you know, day-to-day things, you're cooking, you're cleaning, doing laundry with your arms. At work, some people do repetitive things with their arms. If you're holding, as I mentioned, if you're holding a child on one side and compensating, that can create a rotation of your body that ultimately ends up, okay, I'm going to stand straight, where one side is a little bit crooked. Same thing with the hips. Again, if your body doesn't like standing on one leg and it feels unstable or unsteady, it's going to shift to compensate for that. And so when it compensates for that, what that does, that changes how you use your belly muscles, your back muscles, it changes how you use your arms and ultimately your neck. So again, making sure that we look head to toe, how we stack up is so important so that we don't miss what is actually causing maybe someone having a shoulder or a neck issue, or vice versa. If your neck is kind of crooked because you had some sort of injury and then you kind of tilt your body to make the world straight, that's going to affect going from your head down, right? So if you are a little bit crooked in your head gently, and then you kind of shift because of you want to try and keep your gaze straight, that will ultimately affect how you put weight through your feet, so you could have foot pain from your neck. So it's just really interesting and important to look and see, okay, am I shifted? Is one side higher than the other? Are my hips off to one side and my hips are to the other? And so these are things that you want to be aware of, so that if you do see them, that you can ask someone who knows what they're looking for and that they know what they're going to be doing to address those, to help you, so that you don't end up going and feeling like this over years, and then in 10 years from now, all of a sudden you have some sort of neck or back issue that is really challenging to correct because you have years of compensation that need to kind of be reversed a little bit. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you're proactive with your care. If you're having any sort of discomforts, trying to take care of them, having a regular checkup with a performance or proactive physical therapist like myself, and that way you can make sure that in 30, 40 years from now, you're going to be nice and straight. You're not going to be hurting because you've been shifted for the past 20, 30 years, and you're going to be feeling good and ready for the next day instead of looking forward to the next surgery or shot. Hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully it explains a little bit about why some people may experience a little bit of a shift or elevated shoulder or scoliosis type pattern. And if you have any questions or would like to learn more, I'd be happy to talk to you about it, and eager to explain and kind of show you how the body works.